Hi, Thomas. It's good to see you.
Hey, Dr. Hargret.
How's everything?
Oh man, I am blessed. Um, it's crazy. We're already halfway through another week. I just feel like the semester is flying,
It is.
and you know, still we're doing well as far as holding workshops, dealing with the pandemic, trying to keep everybody engaged. So
Yeah,
so far so good.
that's good. That's good.
Yeah.
That's good. You want to make your numbers.
Right. How's things on
Understood.
your end?
Oh, hectic, busy, and blessed and thankful. Love, love, love working with your student populations. So it's a pleasure. It's an honor, really.
Yes, and I just appreciate that you were able to help us out for this one. On For me, it felt like short notice because I like to give at least a month, and I know we were kind of doing it a few weeks ahead of time.
Yeah, I like to have like more of a schedule, because I am working with other folks. But
Yes.
for you guys, I'm going to try and bend over. But I'm telling you, I did a workshop an hour ago for career development on elevator pitch. And then I have this one. And I have another, not workshop, but a meeting in another hour through Zoom. So it's like,
I don't know how you do it. I am.
plus I
My
taught this
goodness.
morning. So, it's great. But let me tell you, being able to serve the population and work with them is pretty cool. So I'll
Yeah,
always
yeah,
say yes if I can. But it would be great to just get a schedule going so we know, going forward, that would be wonderful.
absolutely. Let me. Hey, Kyle, how's it going?
Yeah, Kyle's my son
Good,
and he
how are
helps
you?
me out.
What's going on? Good to see you, man.
Thank you. Good to hear from you.
Likewise, my man.
How you doing?
There's his face in the place.
It's another beautiful day in the neighborhood.
Yep.
Definitely, definitely, definitely.
Let me get this boat link ready to go for students that arrive.
Yeah. Now, the bottom line is that this workshop here on procrastination, even though we're doing it for the students, it's for every single person because we all procrastinate.
I'm already feeling that there's going to be some conviction falling on me at the end of this one. There's going to be a little,
Hey,
the spirit's going to give me a little unction after
hey,
this
I hear
one.
you. I developed it and I got some conviction.
It's like you're just going over the notes for today and you're like, oh man.
That's right. That, there, because we all need to work. And the funny thing about life is that no matter how old you get, you still got to work on the same things over and over and over and over again.
Yeah, I think but hey, that's how we stay humble, right?
Yes,
That's
it
how we
is.
remain,
It is.
we're able to kind of stay lowly,
Yes,
in terms of
I
knowing
like
that
that. I like
it's
that. You're right.
uh basically understanding that we're going to be constantly working on these things till
And
our last day.
till we leave here. Yep. Agreed. How have you been otherwise?
Um well, I am I'm thinking about some trips. Um, Probably gonna go see my mother soon. Um,
And where is she?
she lives in Orlando,
Oh, nice.
so not this weekend, but probably next weekend. I will. I'm planning to uh, go see her, see how
Yeah,
she's doing.
nice.
So uh, that's kind of the next thing that I'm thinking about now, planning that.
Road trip.
Yeah. And I'm not a big fan of the drive, but do what we got to do.
Got to do what you got to do. I hear you. I hear you.
You know, you
Yeah.
only got one mom, you know, you only got one
Oh,
mother.
yeah. You got to go see her. You know,
Yep.
she's missing her son.
Yeah, yeah. She called me yesterday to see how I was doing. So,
Yeah.
hey, Alex, what's up, man? Welcome, welcome.
How are you guys? How's everything?
I'm doing great, man. We are doing great. We're glad to have you with us today.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
We're minimizing procrastination today. If you can see the title, pretty.
A lot of time management has to do with the honest things we tell ourselves about why we procrastinate. So this is going to be a good one.
Dr. Hargert's preaching already.
I know I am. And I'm preaching
already,
to myself as much as everybody else.
I'm already feeling it. I'm feeling the heaviness already.
Yes, yes, yes.
Alex, I'm gonna get the boat link as soon as a few more folks join in, and then I'm gonna post the boat link where you'll basically sign in to the event.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
I'm still gonna post the evaluation, but the evaluation I'll post it at the end. If you have to leave, just let me know, and you know I can post it a little earlier, or I can just text it to you or whatever. It's not a big deal.
Yeah, I think I have like 40 minutes, 45 minutes. So
okay.
I hope, you know, I can get through the end.
Okay, sounds good, man. Sounds good.
Well, it's great that you could attend.
Yes.
I think it's now 2, so I'm going to wait, 5 minutes, you think, Thomas?
I think then 5 minutes will be perfect. And then at that 5-minute mark, I'll also post the boat link for everybody to sign in.
All right.
I love this music, by the way, Dr. Hargret.
I apologize. I had to go do something real fast. Were you saying something, Thomas?
No, I just said I love the background music.
Oh, that's Kyle. He suggests it's really nice. I like it. Yeah. We've been doing some other workshops for other departments, and the background music has gone over well. We're testing.
This gets everybody in this pensive, not a pensive, but a thoughtful mood.
Yes. And then we're testing. We're going to be doing a new quiz. Instead of Kahoot, we're going to be doing something in quizzes. And so we'll see how that goes over.
I love it.
Yeah.
Never standing still. Always
never standing still. You want to make it so that it's relevant and good for the student population. So hopefully we'll have a few more join, but whoever's here, we're just going to keep on rolling.
Well, I sent the text out to all of our students
All right.
to jump on. Hopefully we can get a few more on.
Yeah. No, normally they come in around around 10 to 15 after the hour. Hi, welcome, Martine.
Uh,
Welcome.
This is the
Martine,
playlist I
welcome.
listen to during
I'm
5
sorry,
o'clock traffic.
what do you say, Kyle?
This is the playlist I listen to during 5 o'clock traffic.
Oh.
Okay. It keeps the road rage at bay, you know?
Yeah. That's cool. That's cool right there.
Keeps you from getting out of your car and, going and telling somebody something.
Yeah. Puts you in a mellow frame of mind.
Exactly,
Well,
right?
Martine, we're going to get started probably at about 2:05. So welcome again. And we're waiting for a few more students to join and then we'll get started. All right?
Absolutely. That's okay.
So welcome, welcome. And thank you for attending this afternoon.
Thank you.
So Alex and Martine, I just posted the boat link to sign in. So just click on that link and then it should be pretty straightforward, just signing in, showing that you're in attendance.
Excellent. So we're going to give you 1 minute to do that, and then we'll get started with our time management workshop today. We have a really relevant topic, and it's called How to Minimize Procrastination. So I used to teach this years ago, and I used to say something corny like, nobody wants to live on the nation of procrastination. But it is the truth, even though we tell ourselves so many reasons why it's okay to procrastinate. Today, we are going to learn how to at least minimize our procrastination. So let's get started. Next slide, please. So what are we going to be talking about today, guys? Well, Martine and Alex, we're going to be talking about how you define procrastination. How you define procrastination. We're going to talk about identifying procrastination habits, and I believe we all have them. And then finally, we're going to understand how to minimize procrastination. So again, first, we're going to define procrastination. Then we're going to identify the habits. Then we're going to understand how we can minimize procrastination to help us as we go about our daily work, especially as you're now coming to midterm. And trust me, I know the pressure midterm brings. Some of you will have 8-week courses, and we're just about 2 to 3 weeks out from the end of the 8-week courses. So it's important that you do not procrastinate, right? So next slide, please. So guys, here's the question today, and you can put it in the chat or you can open your mic. Are you a procrastinator? And if so, why do you think you procrastinate? So are you a procrastinator? Yes or no? And if you are, what are some of the reasons? What do you tell yourself? What's some of the self-talk? Why do you procrastinate?
I'm so sorry. I think like I'm not gonna say all the time, but every once in a while, I admit, I procrastinate. Um, the reasons is because sometimes you believe that you can do it on the last minute, that I have enough time, and so that's like in my case, it doesn't happen often, but I say every once in a while.
Okay, all right. Thanks for your honesty there. And your self-talk is, I have enough time. But obviously, if you're saying that you procrastinate, sometimes you don't have enough time, right, Alexander?
That's right.
Yeah. Martine, what about you? Are you a procrastinator?
Absolutely.
And she says it proud. Well,
I
what
like the
reasons?
confidence. I like the confidence.
Yeah. And
Because sometimes it's so funny. There's a drug. It's like a drug sometimes.
it's like a drug.
I'm not proud of all the bad procrastinator feelings, like the guilt and all the things that you feel. But sometimes it works. It's on the pretty system, but it works.
Okay. Okay. All right. Well, thank you too. Thank you. What about Angie? Do you procrastinate, Angie?
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes.
No, I do not procrastinate. It stresses me out too much and I panic.
Yes, yes, yes. And there it is. There it is. You just hit the nail on the head. When you procrastinate, it can cause stress. It can cause panic, and it can cause you to not do your best. Would you agree with those statements?
Definitely. I feel like I need more time to give my best effort in any work I do.
I heard that the panic attack is a monster that's like the guardian angel of the procrastinator.
Ah, well, thanks. I've got to look that one up, but that does not surprise me. I do think that when we put things off, especially things that are very important, and then we go into stress mode, I do think that the level of stress that we can cause ourselves can cause us to panic. And when we get addicted to that panic mode, then I do believe, and it would take a person that's in the health sciences, but I do believe it can cause us physical or psychological damage in the long run. And so, procrastination is something, and Martine said it, it's like a drug, it's like that adrenaline thing. We say to ourselves, well, let me not go into that because I'm going to ask you what your self-talk is. So next slide, please. Now, we're now going to watch a video. Pay attention, because in this video, and as we answer the questions from the video, there's going to be a game at the end of the presentation where you get to win prizes. You get to win Amazon gift cards. And you get to redeem them immediately, so you can spend them on Amazon immediately, even today even. So pay attention to the video, and then we're going to talk about how to minimize procrastination.
Hi everyone, welcome back to Lavender. It's Eileen. Today's video is on how to beat procrastination and get your work done. So before I begin, make sure you're subscribed and you click that bell to get notified of all my new videos. So first off, if you want to learn how to beat procrastination, you have to see it for what it is. Resistance. So resistance is something that Steven Pressfield talks about in the book, The War of Art. And it basically is a word that means the thing that keeps you from doing your work. There's always this resistance that you want to get this work done, but for some reason you avoid it at all costs. For some reason you find yourself deciding to do something else, checking Instagram, checking Facebook, eating something out of your fridge. And that is because that work is so important that you're scared to do it. So whether it's like an important school project or a personal project that means a lot to you, you're probably gonna feel some resistance there that causes you to procrastinate. For example, I feel resistance when I have to tackle like a big long-term project like my Artist of Life workbook. So my workbook is like something that I've been thinking about the entire year. I've known that I had to redesign it, but it just took me so long to like sit down and be able to focus. So many times I tried to sit down and then I'd get distracted or I would procrastinate. But these couple weeks, I really had to like lock myself down and finish it because I set this due date for myself and I was like, no, I must get it done by this time. So there are some pretty good techniques that helped me buckle down and get my work done, and I'm gonna share them today. The short and easy answer to beating procrastination is to take action. And I know that's like super simple and you're like, duh, but it's incredibly difficult to take action. So how do we do it? My best advice on how to get yourself started on taking action is to look at what you have to do and ask yourself, what is the smallest, easiest next step that I can take towards this goal? So make it like so easy, so simple that it takes 1 second to do it. Break it down as small as you can. So for example, if your big project is to write like a huge research paper, then maybe that easy small step is to open up your Word document or type the date. Type your name, type that first word. Like really break it down into like the easiest task ever and start there. Once you've like opened the tab, once you've written your word, ask yourself that same question again. Okay, now what is the next easiest step that I could take towards this goal? So you'll find that once you've taken like a baby step, you can take the next baby step and the next one and the next one. And if you keep doing that, you'll build momentum and then you're gonna find yourself in flow and you're gonna be working on the thing that you've been procrastinating on. So I do realize that it can be pretty painful and difficult to take action, even if it's just baby steps. So another strategy that's helped me is to set like a time deadline for myself, meaning like I'll tell myself I'll only work on this project for the next 30 minutes or the next hour. And I'll just look at the time. If it's like 8 o'clock, okay, I'll be like 9 o'clock, I'm done. Just do my best, take the baby steps and work on this, but do it for an hour, and by the time it's 9, like I can let myself go. So setting that time gives me like a space to work in, and usually what happens is when I get to the end of my time, I have built the momentum by taking those baby steps and I'm like in flow, so I usually want to keep working. And that's something that is really useful. So if you don't feel like working on your project, just give yourself like a baby amount of time. Like I'm only going to work on this for 15 minutes or 30 minutes. And if that's all you can do, then that's it, that's great. But usually, most likely, you're probably gonna want to continue working longer. So the goal here is to be able to reach your flow state. Your flow state is that state where you are super focused, super in the zone, and you are like working at your optimal capacity. I don't know if you've ever had that feeling where you're just like so 100% in your work, you have momentum, you're on a roll, and things are going great. So that is the goal. It's what some people call deep work, and that is like a state of intense focus that is really productive. So that's the goal of where you want to be when you're trying to beat procrastination. Is I know you're feeling the resistance. First, be aware that it is procrastination and it is resistance, and then you can take like the next small baby steps and set that time deadline for yourself, so that eventually you're gonna feel the momentum and you're gonna put yourself in flow state. So some other strategies to help yourself get into flow and get work done is using music to set the mood. So my favorite playlists to work to are on Spotify. One of them is called Deep Focus. The other one is called Piano in the Background. So I really like Deep Focus. That's like intense, atmospheric, not necessarily intense. Sometimes it's like calming, but it just really puts me in the zone. And then Piano in the Background is because I love piano. That's more softer, so I'll listen to that when I'm like designing or doing something more like free flowing. But when I want to like get work done, like writing and stuff, then I'll play Deep Focus. feel free to set the mood in your space with whatever works for you. Maybe you want to light a candle, maybe you want to clean up your desk so you have like a clear working space. Ask yourself, like, what is your ideal space to work, and create that so that you have everything that you need in order to get stuff done. An app that I love to help me get to work and focus is called Forest. So Forest is an app that is based on the idea of planting like a digital tree. So when you set the timer for, say, like 25 minutes to work, you start planting that tree. And basically, if you leave the app to check anything else on your phone, your tree starts to die. And so you don't want to kill your tree. So it kind of like motivates you to not check Instagram, not check anything, so that for those 25 minutes you are working. And what's really cool about Forest is that I think after you collect some coins, it actually plants real trees in real life. So I really like that environmental aspect of it. The last strategies you can try is to journal and or meditate before you get to work. So sometimes we can't focus on our work because our mind is so distracted. We're thinking about a million things at once. So sometimes it's helped me to like sit down and journal for like 2 or 3 pages before I get to work. Usually in my journal, I write down all the things that are on my mind, get them out of my mind and onto paper. And then I usually like start giving myself a pep talk to prepare myself to get in the mindset to work. So I will literally like visualize like, okay, Eileen, you're gonna do this and you're gonna work and you're gonna finish this today and you're gonna do this. So I'm like my own motivator in my journal, and doing that really helps set the intention for getting to work and being productive. Another thing is you can meditate before you get to work. It has a similar effect where you clear your mind, you calm yourself, and you can also set your intentions during meditation to focus on whatever you want to focus on. So either journaling and or meditation, you could do both, or you could choose one or the other, but I think both are really great to like prime yourself to start being productive and get to work. All right, those are my tips on how to beat procrastination. I hoped it helped you. Let me know if you have any tips of your own that I missed. Post them in the comments below so I can learn from you as well, because I always need help on how to beat resistance, because I think it's always gonna be there. Whenever there's an important project that means a lot to you, like there's always gonna be resistance. That's natural, we're humans, so we are all a work in progress. All right, make sure to subscribe if you haven't already. Love you all so much. Have a beautiful day, and I'll see you next time. Bye.
All right, guys. Now, before we move on to me asking you these questions, what did you learn from, and she gave a lot of fantastic tips. Let me hear what you took away. What were some of the tips, especially the ones that you think to yourself, wow, I could do that. So let's hear. What tips did you find effective, or something that you don't do and you thought to yourself, maybe I'll do that?
I like the fact that you defined it.
I'm sorry, Martine, the what?
I like the fact that she defined procrastination.
Yes, the definition. And did that help? Did that definition help you to kind of understand it a bit better?
Yeah, now you have awareness. Like whenever you feel that you cannot get to things, you're like, oh, okay, I know that what's there. It's resistance. How do I get it out of the way?
Yes, yes. Would you have thought of it as resistance previous to watching the video?
No, I would think, I thought it's something that's how I work. I never thought of it as resistance.
Does that seem like it is so for you, that it is resistance?
Now that she gave me new perspective into the situation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When I watched the video to prep for this, I thought the same thing. And I do believe that the more you perceive that thing that you're doing is going to have weight, or be weighty, or be something that is serious, the more you procrastinate it, because you are fearful of it, to be frank. And that resistance comes in. Maybe I should go do this, if I chunk it up. But you know what? Let me go and look in the fridge and get myself a snack first.
Or you go on a YouTube videos that never stops.
Or Netflix that has a million other episodes that you just have to binge watch, right?
Exactly.
What about Alexandra or Angie? Anybody, what were some of the tips that you found very enlightening, or maybe there was a tip that you just didn't think was good?
Okay, so for me, the baby steps, I think it's a great way to beat, procrastination. And something that I already, do, it's set up the mood. I usually, before I start, I clean up my desk and, put some music. Then, that's when I start. And once I sit down, I usually don't stop, even if I have to go, like 1 or 2 in the morning, but sometimes, that's like the hardest part, getting to that point.
I understand. And the truth is if we have a cluttered workspace, we are not even going to feel like sitting down to do the work, Alexander. So what you said is absolutely a wonderful idea. Clean up that space before you get to work. And I'm guilty of that. Right now, I have a cluttered workspace because I've been doing a lot of work. And it does make you feel, if you have a cluttered workspace, it makes your brain feel cluttered too. It makes you feel like you're, so it's better to just clean it off and to get like that fresh start. And so that was a wonderful tip. What else did you hear that you thought, maybe I'll use that, or I don't know about that one?
No, I think, honestly, the one that, I never saw it, like, like doing the baby steps, because sometimes, you think like, you gotta do the whole thing, like right away. But I guess, if you start like doing little things and little things, you can build that momentum, and it will make a huge difference. And that's, how I usually do it. Like I start, working, but, like I try to finish, like everything, like in one day, which is a mistake, because, instead I can be doing, like little things, maybe 20 minutes, and, later if I got extra time, I can do, work another 20 minutes, and, so on. But I think, that's one thing that I'll try, instead of, like forcing myself, like sometimes, uh, spending so many hours.
Well, thank you for that. I'm glad that you were able to take something away from it. Baby steps are important. Chunk up the work, chunk it up. If you have to write the essay, do the outline today, fill in some bullets tomorrow, fill in sentences the next day for the intro. The next day, fill in sentences for the body. The final day, fill in sentences for the conclusion. The day after that, then make sure you proofread it, put it in Grammarly or whatever you need to do. So you've chunked up that essay. And what I find is if I rush to do an essay for the last minute, there's generally going to be some spelling or grammatical errors because I did not have the opportunity to, with fresh eyes, because when we pull an all-nighter, we can't see and we don't know what we've missed. We all have words that we tend to exchange for the other. For me, it's instead of the, I put to, or if I put to, I put the. And if I am not paying attention, then I'm going to tell you, I need to look at that thing with fresh eyes in order to move on. Martine, did you have something you wanted to say?
Yes, I'm thinking that a lot of times, I don't know why I think that I'm a procrastinator. I don't put things on paper, but I would look at it. It's like having a mental map of what I need to do. And the whole time that I'm not doing anything, it's just inside my head, I'm mulling over the whole thing. And then like when it's time for me to put everything on paper, it just flows out of my head. Like,
that's good. Here's the bad thing about that though. If you have those things swirling around in your head, instead of having them swirling around for days, put them on paper immediately. And then the next day you may have more things swirling around, but it might help you to make that other thing more clear, more crisp. So put it down immediately, and then you can refine them and make them much more, well done if you don't wait for like 2 or 3 days and have it swirl and swirl and swirl. I mean, that's just one tip that I would give you. I tend to be the same. I call my brain like in the laundromat when you see the thing going around
like
and around. And
yeah, I'll look at the work and I size it up. I'm like, okay, this is what I need to do. I organize the whole thing in my head. But I never write one single thing on paper, and then I will start like little by little, it just comes.
Well, those are baby steps. So I think that's a good idea. I would just suggest that you write it down earlier. But anyway, Angie, did you have anything you wanted to add, or you could put it in the chat, or anything that you'd like?
So one thing I really enjoyed was that she set the mood before she started studying. I think that's really important to set the mood, especially when, like for me, I like to study in cafes. And I know that when I study at home in my bedroom or on my bed, I feel like I'm more likely to doze off, not pay attention, or kind of start to slack and put less effort into my work. So I think that's really important.
Now you just hit the nail on the head there. Studying in your bed is not a good idea. You've already self-sabotaged because you get too comfortable and then you doze off, and all of the good intentions have now gone out the window. And then you wake up, and when you wake up, you're probably feeling a little bit hungry. So now you go and get a snack, and then you procrastinate what you were supposed to do before you fell asleep. And now somebody says, can you come pick me up and take me here or there? Now you've procrastinated it again. And so making sure that you're not doing it from in your bed. You can have a chair and a desk beside your bed, but that bed is for sleeping. It ain't for studying, and you will drop off and go to sleep and not do what you wanted to do. And the worst thing is when you wake up in the morning, knowing that you should have done something, now it's become a worry. Doesn't it haunt your brain?
Of course.
Yes, it does.
I can tell you all about that.
And guess what you're doing now? Beating yourself up, giving yourself negative self-talk, saying, you know what, I should have done that. Oh my God, why did I put that off? Now I'm even more stressed. Now I've got this second thing to do. I've got to do this in my math class. I've got to do this in my science class. I've got to go pick up the kids. I've got to go grocery shopping. I promised my mother that I would go visit her in Orlando. And now I can't do any of that, right? So here we are. Now, we need to understand how we can minimize procrastination. So you have got to start being honest with yourself. Ask yourself some of these questions. Do you know how to minimize your procrastination? Well, we've watched the video and she's given you some steps. What can you do after today, after this workshop, to change your procrastination habit? And are you willing to do it? That's the question to ask yourself. Are you willing to do it? And another question to ask yourself is, do you know why you procrastinate? And do you know what you procrastinate the most? Now, for some of us, if you're like me, I don't mind cooking, but I hate to wash the dishes. So I'll put off, even loading them in the dishwasher is a chore for me. So I'll put it off. So I will procrastinate that. I may wash the clothes, but I may procrastinate folding them.
Me too.
Why? Because I consider that such like drudgery work. I don't like to do it. So what is it that you procrastinate and why? And what can you do to change that? And then if you can do something to change it, change it. Guys, it takes 30 days to change a habit. 30 days of consistent change for a habit to be reformed. And so If you've got some procrastination habits that you want to change, like maybe baby steps, maybe downloading that playlist, maybe clearing off your clutter, do it and continue to do it for 30 days. And as you continue to do it, you'll find that your habit changes. So what steps can you take to minimize procrastination? The very first step is to admit that you're a procrastinator, but also to say to yourself, I want to change. Because admitting that you're a procrastinator is good, but saying to yourself, I've got to do something about this. Because when I get to the nursing program, when I get to the business program, I've got to write my business plan. When I get to the education program, I've got to go into the classroom. I've got to, if I'm a nurse, I've got to go into rotations. Am I going to procrastinate to the extent that now it's affecting me when I get to that level where I'm getting very close to my career goals? Am I going to self-sabotage by procrastinating? Those are the questions you should ask yourself. Tell me, what other questions will you be asking yourself?
It seems like I'm the only procrastinator in the group.
No, I think, well, Angie says that she's not, but Alex has admitted to procrastinating. What about Aisha? Are you hearing what we're saying? I know you didn't get to watch the video, but what is your self-talk when it comes to procrastination, and what can you change about it? And you can put it in the chat, or you can open your mic. I hope I pronounced your name correctly. Is Aisha, or Aisha?
Yeah, you pronounced it right.
Thank you. Thank you. I don't like to mispronounce names.
Yeah, so to battle procrastination, I usually set alarms and timers. They really help me like get that rush that I need, because I always like do things at the last minute. So yeah, so I have to like use alarms, and they really help me like just finish up whatever I have to do.
Yeah, alarms, notifications. My Google Calendar is so full of notifications, and I make them pop up a half an hour before, then I'll snooze them for 5 minutes, because when you've scheduled yourself and you've got a lot of things going on, sometimes you are prone to forget. And guess what we forget the most? The things we don't like to do. And so inadvertently, we are subconsciously procrastinating by forgetting. Do we forget the good stuff? If someone's invited you out to dinner and it's your favorite restaurant and you have to get there by 5 o'clock, do you forget that?
No, rarely.
I have never missed that kind of an appointment. But what about, going to get your teeth cleaned?
Oh, that's, yeah, I don't like it.
I know. But when it comes to
Speaking of
school,
which, I do need to call the dentist.
yeah, yeah. And see, you've been procrastinating calling the dentist, haven't you?
It seems like we all have something in our lives that we procrastinate
absolutely,
about.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And don't beat yourself up about it. Just commit to changing. So next slide, please. Sometimes I notice that when we stay long on one question, the slides tend to kind of like freeze. So we'll get to the next slide. But understand that when you're minimizing procrastination, you have got to make sure that you are very honest with yourself. You've got to make sure you're asking yourself the right questions and you're answering it correctly. Here's what you should not say to yourselves. I work better under pressure. How many of you say that to yourselves all the time? I can do it at the last minute. I work better under pressure. Come on, tell the truth and shame the devil.
I don't
I
believe that
do.
I work better under pressure, but sometimes I would say to myself that it's easy. Sometimes I just underestimate like the amount of work that I have to put to make sure that I give a very nice and well thought out work.
Yes.
That is where that I fall short, because I always look at it and said, because things usually comes easy for me and I'm like, oh yeah, I'll get it.
Got it.
It's not difficult. It's very easy, and then sometimes it's not.
Absolutely. So underestimating the time it will take. Now, here's another reason we procrastinate. Any perfectionists in the room?
Yeah.
If you are a perfectionist, stop it. Voltaire says, never let the perfect be the enemy of the good. I'll repeat that. Never let the perfect be the enemy of the good. What do you think that means?
When I think about being a perfectionist, to me, it's like I hate doing things that I know that I can do. Like, let's say that I know that I'm capable of doing a 10. It bothers me like that I'm delivering a 7 or 8, right?
I understand.
That's what I think about. Like, if I know that I can do good, why not doing it the best why not giving the best that I can give?
Yes. Well, I understand that, but does the best have to be perfect?
No, the best is just the best.
The best is the best, but is there such a thing as perfect?
Exactly, like the best.
And so we strive for perfection, and it is a moving target. Very rarely ever in life with our human flawed selves do we get to perfection. So here are some of the things to ask yourself when you're striving for perfection. Be aware of your procrastination habit of being a perfectionist. I'm not going to do it if I can't do it the best. All right? There's good, there's better, and there's best. And you have to determine when you take a look at something, what habits am I here exhibiting that I'm procrastinating this thing? And so next, click. Take a good, honest look at how you spend your time. Are you spending your time massaging something, making it look pretty, making it perfect, and you've got this big whole thing left to do? If that's the case, you are procrastinating. Stop it. Next, analyze and refrain your self-talk. Martine, it does not have to be perfect. If you can do a 10, but your time allows you to do an 8, be comfortable with the 8. Because if not, you're going to be killing yourself for the 10, and nobody's going to care that it's a 10. Okay, now, I'm not saying that you lower your standards. Next. So what I want you to do is focus on the big picture. If you've got an essay to do, and you know you've got a very strict professor, and the professor says, if you don't have it in this time, I'm not taking any late assignments. The big picture is to do what?
The assignment.
Get it, yeah, get it done, right? Get it done. If you don't get it done perfectly, you may get a 90, but if you procrastinate the thing and then made it late, you may get a 0. Does that make sense? So focus on the big picture. Next. Now ask yourself what's really needed in this perfection, in this situation. Do I have to be perfect, or can I be better? Is better good enough? And go for better. Next. Maintain your high standards though. I am not telling you to lower your standards. I'm telling you to be realistic. Does that make a difference? Be realistic about your time and how you use it. Next, be realistic about what you can accomplish. If you have a part-time job, if you have a family, if you're going to school, and all those things are conflicting, being a perfectionist is not going to help you. Next. And then seek help if you need it. You've got help through TRIO. There are tutors. You've got help at the Student Success Center. There's many different kinds of help. You can use Grammarly, which is, if you're doing, let's say, an essay, find the help that you need and use it to cut down on your time. And finally, don't throw away work that you think is subpar. Use it in the future. Keep it, because you may be able to use it later on. All right, next slide, please. Now, here are some of the answers to those questions that I asked you earlier. You need to know why you procrastinate. So you need to answer the question for yourself and be realistic. Give yourself honest self-talk. I procrastinate because I'm a perfectionist. I need to stop it. I procrastinate because I'm scared of the work. I need to chunk it or baby steps. And know what you procrastinate the most. Do you procrastinate math, English, science? What are you procrastinating? And identify the reasons why. And then take those steps to minimize procrastination. Baby steps, set the mood, clear your environment, whatever it takes for you to get the job done. Make sure that you're answering those questions and just get the job done. You'll be much more comfortable inside of yourself if you do this. Does that make sense, guys?
That was great.
Okay, so let's move on. Now, we know that perfectionism is real, and we know that it is a vicious circle. I want to do it, but I want to do it right. So I procrastinated. Now I've got problems. Now it's causing me stress. Now I've got to go speak to my professor to ask for more time. And it becomes this vicious cycle. So please just do yourself a favor and move on from that perfectionist procrastination way of doing things, and you will be much more, you'll stress less. So now, be aware of your habits, guys, when it comes to perfectionism. Take an honest look at how you spend your time. Analyze and reframe your self-talk. Focus on the big picture. Ask what's really needed in this situation. Maintain high standards, though, and be realistic about what you can accomplish. Seek help when needed, and don't throw away work that maybe it doesn't fit in this essay. You can use it in another essay in future. So what do you think? If you are a perfectionist, did some of these tips help you to think about why perfectionism is not necessarily the best way to go? And be honest, because sometimes people just say, and I think Martine said it, and I think she left, but what Martine said is that I like to do things at a 10. And I'm certainly not saying that you need to minimize that or do things at a 5 or a 6. But does any of these things help? Aisha said yes. What about anybody else? Angie, Alex, I know you're still here, Alex. Did any of these tips help you?
Yes, because as an example, in my case, I always try to go for the best, but sometimes being perfect, it's not good, especially when you don't have enough time.
Exactly.
So going for the better, it's the best option.
Yeah, go for the better. You don't want to be that person that the professor always looks at and says, okay, late again. And it's not that you want to be late, but you're just so caught up with perfectionism that you can't get it in on time because you're so busy massaging it. And I have a very good friend that's like that. She would be writing her essay and rewriting it and rewriting it. And I've never really had that problem. I've never really been, perfectionism is not my problem. My problem is chunking it up, you know, taking the baby steps. But that perfectionism will get you into some real problems because you're massaging it and you're trying to get it done and get it done and get it done and get it done at the very, very last minute. It causes great stress. It causes great stress, guys. Well, now what we're going to do as usual, for those who have been in my workshops before, we have a little game. I don't know, Alex, if you can stick around for it, but we do have a little gift card that we're offering. So I know that Martine, Aisha, and Angie, are you ready to play this game?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Good, good, good. Kyle will put the information up on the screen and we're going to get started. It's a, let me see. So you're using your phone? So you're going to go to, let's see, Kyle, are you able to put it up? Are you hearing me, Kyle? Okay, here we go. All right, guys. So you're going to go to this website. It's called joinmyquiz.com. Joinmyquiz.com. And when you go to joinmyquiz.com, you are going to see where it says enter the game code, and you're going to put in the game code 544948. 544948. Alexandra, are you able to play? Yes, 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 yes. Alexandra's in, yay. All right, do we have everybody who wants to play? If so, we're gonna get started. Here we go.
I can't log in for some reason.
Oh. When you go to join my quiz, what does it say? Joinmyquiz.com.
It's just not coming up for some reason.
Are you using your browser? Like, you know, Chrome or what are you using?
I'm using Chrome.
And you're going to joinmyquiz.com?
Yes, I double checked and it's not working.
Oh boy.
Are you on Wi-Fi? Are you on Wi-Fi, Martin?
Yeah, it's working. That's what
I just checked. Actually, I have a result, but it's not the quiz website.
Okay, so you're going to join. Let's go back. Let's start again. So let me, he's going to put it up again. And make sure it's all one. Don't put any spaces, even though it's got spaces there. Put joinmyquiz.com.
Okay, let's see.
And guys, you need to join again because we stopped it to see if we could get Martine in. So join again. This time the game code is 735. You're in, yay. 735-528. So now we're waiting on Angie and so I think everybody's in now, yes? Thomas, are you coming in again? Yay. All right, so let's get started. I will read the question, even though you'll see it on your screen. Resistance is the thing that keeps you from doing your work. True or false? False. All right. Delaying your important schoolwork can sometimes mean that you're scared to do it. True or false? You guys are finished before I even finish asking the question. All right. The way to get work done is not to set due dates. Okay. The answer to beating procrastination is to take action. To beat procrastination, ask yourself, what is the smallest, easiest next step that I can take toward the goal? True or false? Hey. All right, Angie. All right. There are 10 questions in all. All right. You guys are fast. Wow. Look at Martine. All right.
Martine killed it.
All right, now put your emails in the chat so that we can send you through the email that you put in the chat, the gift cards. So, ladies and gentlemen, we are pretty much, if you'll put the slide back up, Kyle, I want to show them the end, I think. Is there anything else I have on the slides? So guys, what I want to say is, I think that was it, right? That was it. So did you have fun? Did you have fun playing the game?
Yes, I definitely did.
You did?
Martine was too fast for me.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
So the thing is that we use quizzes this time. Sometimes we use Kahoot. Which did you find to be better? Have you used Kahoot before? And which did you like?
I really like this one, the true or false. Yeah, I like it.
Yeah. Thomas, what did you think? We used Kahoot the last time. Did you like Kahoot or did you like quizzes?
I think they're both good. I think maybe there's a little bit more lag on this one.
Yeah.
But no, they're both great.
They're both great. All right. All right, guys, name one thing that you are going to do to change a habit to help with procrastination before we wrap up. One thing, put it in the chat or open your mic and say it out loud.
You know what? I have a paper that's due on October 10th. I'm going to start today.
All right. We're holding you to that, Martine. You are going to start today. Are you going to chunk it up and take some baby steps?
Yes, I'm going to make an appointment to see a librarian today, and then I'm going to just at least do the title page.
At least to the title page. That
Just
is
the
a
title
start.
page. That's it.
Yeah.
That's a start. Because once you do the title page, it's going to draw you in to do other things, right?
Exactly.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
then the next thing to do is just do a quick outline with like just words, bullet words, you know, and then leave it alone. And then the next day, fill it in. And you'd be surprised to see how you're going to get that thing done way before your October deadline. Thanks for that, Martine. What about Aisha? What will you do?
For me, it would probably be finally fixing my shower drain. So it's been like leaking since like last year, and I've just like put it off. I know how to fix it, but like I say I'll do it today, or I'll do it next week, and I never get to it. So I'll try to like force myself to just fix that already.
So you're going to commit to doing that. Excellent.
Yeah.
Excellent. Thank you for that. Thomas, what's one thing you're going to do?
I was, you know, I keep thinking about the video and about how the baby steps, they draw you into that flow state.
Mm-hmm.
And it's so true. Like just doing a small thing, and then leaving it, your brain kind of subconsciously is like, hey, that thing that we started, you know,
Yes.
like your brain's always like saying we, hey, you know, that thing that we started together.
Yes, yes, yes.
It's still unfinished. Maybe we keep going on that a little bit. And then what happens is your brain gets interested in the thing that
Good.
you're trying to do, that you've all along been trying to do. So it's kind of you tricking your brain into getting interested in it because you've left it a little bit unfinished. And then now it's like your brain's like, hey, let's kind of do a little bit. And then it snowballs into that flow state.
Absolutely wonderful, wonderful. Now, guys, those who won the quiz, please put your email in the chat so that we can make sure to send, because this is an e-gift card. Once you get it in your email, when you go to Amazon and you go to checkout, it's just like using a credit card. So great. And let's see, Alexandra said that baby steps, right? And anyone else want to comment before we close down the workshop today? And I thank you so much for your time and for being here. And I hope you enjoyed it. And I, more than anything else, I hope you learned something. Anyone else want to say anything before we close it down?
No, just thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
Oh, you're welcome, Alexander.
I just wanted to say real quick, I posted the evaluation, you guys. So just take a look at that link to complete your evaluations. Okay, guys?
Well, thank you again for asking me to do the workshop. You know that I enjoy this and I enjoy serving your students. Guys, hopefully you'll procrastinate less and we will all minimize our procrastination. Take good care. God bless. Take care.
Can you hear me really quickly?
Yes, Angie.
I just want to say thank you for this meeting because honestly, it inspired me to do a research project I have due in November, but I want to get started. So I'm relaxed towards the end and I make sure I put my best effort into it. So thank you so much.
Good. And we're going to hold you to that. You are going to chunk it up, make baby steps, and you're going to do it. Just like Martine, you are going to, once you've said it, you put it out in the atmosphere, you're definitely going to do it. So good for you guys. Take good care now, and I'll see you in the next workshop.
All right, everybody. Don't
Bye-bye.
forget to do your evaluation.
All right, you're free to go, and don't forget to do the evaluation.
All right, Dr. Hargett. Thank you
All
again.
right.
Man, this one was really good, Dr. Hargett. This was great. That video was great. Oh man, and I love the piece about how you know, perfectionism is a form of procrastination for us. Like,
I mean, you may not have thought of it as such, huh?
Yeah, it's kind of a thing that holds you back because, you know, like you were saying, it's perfectionism. It's kind of a thing that we don't really know what it looks like. It's
no.
just,
I never thought about it that way, Dr. Hargett.
Yeah.
procrastination, I remember someone sharing with me in my very early years when I was a freshman in college, and she said, Ingrid, when you seek perfection, it means that there's no room for improvement.
Huh. That's good. That's good.
And I've never forgotten that, because and I always think about it that way. It's true. I'm like, if you think you're perfect or something is perfect, then that means that there is no room for improvement.
Right, right. And
So
honestly,
good.
let me ask you this question, because I ask myself this all the time. What does perfect look like?
I don't think we know, because it doesn't exist.
There's not really, it's a kind of a mythical, like better than, it's super the best.
I don't think it exists.
Yeah. But
you may see a perfect flower, and then you may go to the Amazon and see a flower that is 10 times more perfect than the flower that you saw. Right? You may see a perfect pair of shoes, but when you put them on, they hurt like hell. Immediately, they're not perfect anymore, right?
So what you're saying is that perfection is only an interpretation.
It is.
From our own mind, from our own perspective of life, maybe, right?
It's in the eye of the beholder. And the truth is what you see as perfect and what I see as perfect is not perfect. So if you think you've given a perfect paper to your professor, and the professor looks at it and then they're looking for a different kind of perfection, all of a sudden your bubble is burst.
That is so true.
All you can do is do what the rubric asks you to do to the best of your ability.
Yeah, so good.
And you're right.